What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 12 of ShowTheFlowTV. It's Ryan here. Kenan? What's up, guys? Today is Book Review Tuesday. I'm pretty excited because today's book is something that has changed my life. And I know I say that every time, but seriously, you know, every little bit here and there really is a big change. So we're going to find a place to post up and we're going to talk about Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. So I'm standing outside of a closed down Radio Shack. Today I'm going to be reviewing a book and pretty quick just kind of run through a synopsis of this book here. It's by Simon Sinek. It's called Start With Why. And I thought it was kind of like poetic in a way to be standing in front of a Radio Shack because they're closed down now. And you know, we could look maybe at their financials or how they handle things in their business, but really what it comes down to is they're shut down, and they're shutting down all across the nation because of their philosophy. Let me explain this. Simon talks in the book that people don't do business with other people and businesses because they necessarily want what they have or because it's a great product. They do business with you because they believe the way you believe. And so the best way to build a brand, to build a business in this economy, the information culture that we live in, is for you to create really a belief system instead of a MacGuffin, instead of a product or a service. Our products and services important, yes, but they're not the main thing. So here's kind of an example. You have computer companies, for instance, like Dell, Apple, we use those two. Simon uses the same. And here's the difference between those two companies. A company like Dell or HP starts with, hey, we make great computers. They start with the what, and then they go to the how. We make them with the best quality products, the newest up-to-date software, all of these things. Do you want to buy one? Well, you know, that's maybe sort of appealing, but what Apple has done is they decided to go after a different crowd, and instead of saying, hey, you know, we make great computers that are made out of great stuff, they start a different way, and they start this way. They say, we believe in challenging the status quo, right? And we believe in giving misfits a chance and outsiders, outcasts, things of this nature. By the way, we happen to be a computer company. Do you want to buy one? Right? So because they start with why they exist, that's the reason that they've come on the scene to be so successful. And so just I'm going to take a look here just at a couple of the chapters. He talks about the golden circle, and so the golden circle is most companies will start on the outside of the circle, right? And they'll throw facts at you and tell you what they do. So, you know, I'm a real estate photographer. So if I were to say, hey, I'm a real estate photographer, I take pictures of houses. Can I come and take pictures of houses for you? Like, that's what everybody does, right? Or I might even say how I do it. I do HDR photography, and it's better than everyone else's. Can I come and take pictures for you? Like, it's not very appealing, right? But what we've decided to do is to start with why. So here's like our pitch, if you want to call it that, is photography and real estate used to be to document a home. And that's before the internet age really came about. And now websites like Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com pull your listings from the local MLS and then sell you back zip codes. All of a sudden the game has changed where photos are no longer for documenting a home, but they're for online marketing. And we believe that the best way to market yourself is to have an awesome presence online. So we don't ask for the business in that, we just tell why we're doing what we do. And what that's done is, just like the book teaches, it's tapped into a segment of the population here in Oklahoma City, and now even in Tulsa, that believe like we believe, that the number one goal for the listing agent is to get people through the door. That's it, to get people through the door. And that's why I'm super pumped about what it is that I do, because time after time after time after time again, we get to hear of all the wins that come back, of so many people showed up to the open house, or this house sold in 48 hours because of your pictures. Guys, yes, that fires me up. That pumps me up big time because it just supports my big why. That's what it supports. And so we've tapped into this segment of the realtor population that believes like we do. Let's take a look here at another couple of these chapters. And I'm not going to go over the whole thing. This is just sort of a synopsis review. So talking about how leaders need a following and things, for instance, like tipping points, things like that. So there's this, I don't know, this idea in business that if you want to be super successful, that you have to go after the majority, right? So if you think of like a bell curve, right? You have your early adopters right here at the beginning, your early majority, your late majority, and then you have your laggards way over here. Well, that big hump in the middle represents the most amount of people that are using products and services that maybe you're selling. So, you know, the old school of thought was that we market toward those people. So for instance, if I'm selling diapers, right, then let's say in the United States the majority of babies are in a size 4, then I need to make a lot of size 4 and market a lot of size 4, right? I can relate because I'm a dad. I've got, you know, kids that have all been in diapers. Still, I have one that's still in diapers, you know. And so what this new way of thinking says, especially with technology and the way that we all, again, word of mouth marketing through social media, the way that it works is instead of going after the majority, you want to go after the early adopters. And that's people like me. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy the newest thing, even if it sucks, right? Because it's the newest thing. You know, Aaron and I just ordered Apple Watches. Why? Because we wanted an Apple Watch. Like, everything that Apple comes out with, I want. But I've heard other people say, well, I'm going to wait till the bugs get worked out. You know what? I don't care. I'll get another one, right? Like, work the bugs out and then I'll get another one. But here's the next segment of population. Here's why you want to do that. You want to go after the early adopters because that next segment of the population depend on the early adopters to make their decision. So you have the early adopters, then the early majority. The early majority are not going to go buy an Apple Watch. They're just not going to until they've read the reviews from people like you and I that have jumped out on a, you know, from a ledge and taken a chance on a new product. So why do I do that? Companies like Apple get it. It's because I love taking risks. Maybe you do too. Whatever it is that you believe, let me challenge you when you're marketing your product to start with that, okay? Build a belief system, not a product brand, because that's actually what we're doing anyway. So, again, guys, I just thought it was kind of crazy standing right here. You know, Kenan worked for Radio Shack, so I'm gonna bring him on real quick. Let's just switch spots. So, when I found this little pup right here, he was just barely scraping by at a Radio Shack. No, I'm just kidding. Before you came and started shooting houses, you worked at Radio Shack, right?
Yeah, I worked there for about 2 years, maybe.
So what do you think about Radio Shack being shut down? Like, did you see it coming?
Oh yeah, like I had people coming in like every single day asking me, oh, is this Radio Shack closing down? Is this Radio Shack closing down? You know, questions like that all the time. And like every time I was just like, no, it's just, I mean, not yet anyway. You know, I had all these crazy questions and yeah, and actually it's crazy, I recently found out that the Radio Shack that I worked at in Clearwater, Florida shut down. It's gone. It's gone.
Why do you think that is?
They were just trying to stay relevant, and so they're just their way, I get the way they operated, like the way they pushed phones so hard on people, like it, I just don't think it worked. It wasn't relevant. It was just an old way of doing business.
Do they have a tagline, Radio Shack? I can't remember.
I think now it's we're still open. Like for the ones that are still open.
I love it. I love it. If you are somebody that's, you know, you love technology and you love staying up on all the facts and stuff, guys, don't shrink back from that. You know, like the majority of people are going to say, well, I'm just not real techie. Don't be a part of that majority. Like, be willing to step out, you know, because you could end up finding your passion like Kenan and I have done and starting a very, you know, successful business by doing that because you're not scared to jump out and take action. even when everybody else is, you know, scared to do anything. So that is it, guys. Episode number 12, Show the Flow TV, Book Review Tuesday. Go on Amazon today, buy this book.